My daddy left us. I was only 6 months older than you are now. I don't remember him. You will remember me.
You have no idea the amount of ignorant mess we're about to get into right now.
Sit your $5 ass down before I make change.
Come on with the pan, that's rapper taste on it, you know?
Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Black on Black Cinema. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with Micah.
Hey.
And Rob.
Do you know what it means to be a hero?
We'll find out.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Terrence is not here this week, but he will be back for the next episode. Okay, so first, before we get into 42, we have a letter from a listener about our last episode, Medicine for Melancholy, that I'd like to go over a little bit before we get into our normal episode. Of course, you can email us at contact@blackonblackcinema.com. So this, our first email is from Melissa, who says that as a biracial woman, she sees Medicine for Melancholy a little bit differently than we did. She states that she was wondering why we didn't delve into Joe's issues with her own identity and not being able to sort of connect with black culture. Do you guys? What do you guys think of that?
I didn't really touch on it just because, like, I've had issues, but not at that age, not at the age that Joe was in the movie. I was pretty.
She's a grown ass woman.
Right, she's a grown ass woman. Like, and I couldn't really relate to how she was feeling, so I really didn't have too much input.
I think that might be why, because I know I definitely had some issues when I was a teenager, but I'm very confused when I was a teenager, but I can't put myself back into that mindset. I really, really can't. I cannot figure out what the hell I was thinking and why. I mean, I know what, but I don't understand why. So I can't make myself relate because I'm a grown ass man and I can't imagine being that confused at this stage of my life.
Okay. Yeah, I do think that was something we should have. I think we touched on it, but I do think we should have gone maybe a little bit more in depth. Micah seemed like such a head case to deal with that he took up the majority. Movie Micah,
yeah,
not you, Micah.
Why is he on a podcast?
Yeah, exactly. If he's so screwed up, why is he here? But I think he took more of our attention. But yeah. Yes, I agree. One of the other things that she points out, which I think is a really great point, is when we were talking about interracial couples on television, she states that most interracial couples that you see are white males with, whatever other race woman. And she says that she thinks that deals with people identifying with the oppressor from slavery. Even people who aren't white males even want to see white males in charge or, sort of leading, president or something like that. And, things like that, which I think is a good point.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably movie Mike. Yeah, and I think that was part of movie Micah's issue as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think he had so much of an issue with interracial relationships as much as he had issues with white men and black women together. I think that was for him, I think that's what really bothered him.
Yeah.
And lastly, she's an artist, and she talks about how the character of Micah reminds her more of people who she went to art school with, which, knowing a number of people who've gone to art school, I would argue that's probably true. So, and she says that she loves boring indie movies, and I'm right along there with her. So, but she said it was a good show, so she enjoyed it. So yeah, send more emails, questions, comments, to, once again, contact@blackonblackcinema.com.
And thank you, Melissa.
Yeah. Also, before we get into the show, I'd like to just say Wesley Snipes is out of jail, so we need to do a Wesley Snipes movie.
You know what? Is Is Demolition Man considered a black movie?
It's not.
God damn
not.
it. I love that movie so
Yeah, I
much.
know, it's
Oh God, that would be the best thing ever.
if we ever do an action movie podcast, that might be number one on
Yeah,
our
Oh
list.
man.
God, that movie is so
Oh,
It's
I love
ridiculous.
it's so absurd.
So we'll have to in honor of Wesley Snipes' release from jail. Wow, that's terrible to say. We will have to find a good Wesley Snipes movie. So we haven't done a black superhero movie.
Wait, is there a good Wesley Snipes movie other than the one we've already done?
Blade.
The first one.
Yeah, the first one only. Blade 2 was fucking
Blade
terrible.
2 was wrestling.
Yeah. And Blade 3 was even worse. Okay, so all right, let's get into it. This episode is all about 42, a true story of an American legend, of course, about Jackie Robinson. So let's go into first impressions. What did you think, Rob?
I think the first 10 or 15 minutes were a little ham-fisted in how it showed him standing up to the white guy at the gas station, and it was a little too much, but it eased out of that pretty quickly, and the rest of the movie was just perfect. It was what I've been waiting for. It was a movie that actually tackled racism and how to deal with it in a non-violent fashion. And it didn't pull any punches, and it wasn't, as much as I love Django, it wasn't just going around shooting all the white people. It was actually dealing with it in a realistic manner and in a way that would actually where he could actually integrate himself into the society where half of it didn't want him around.
Okay.
And I really love that.
Now, out of 5, what would you give it?
Overall experience, I'd say 5 out of 5.
Really? Okay. Micah?
So, if there are two things I hate in this world, it's bigotry and baseball. and this movie has both of them. So I go into this movie and I'm like, ugh, it's fucking bigots and God, even worse, it's baseball. Jesus. But I came out of this movie actually really surprised. I really enjoyed this movie, and I really didn't think I was going to. I had hopes for it, but you have hopes, just enough hope to know that you'll be let down. But I really enjoyed this movie. I'm going to see it again, actually.
Did you enjoy the baseball segments?
Actually, you know what? Movies make sports, even boring sports, not boring. Look, think about how boring boxing is. Now think about how epic Rocky's battles were. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, in even boring-ass baseball where dudes just, you cut to the guy scratching himself, and you cut to the field, and then you cut to the behind the pitcher, and then you cut to the outfield. And
Cut to the stands and sleep in the stands.
Right,
Literally.
right. But this was actually, if this was a fun movie, this movie didn't shy away from its racism like Red Tails did. It met it head on, and you felt for characters. You wanted to see certain characters get their comeuppance. You wanted to root for some characters. I was cheering on the inside by the end of this movie.
Okay. And out of 5?
I hate rating, so in honor of Roger Ebert, I'm just going to say thumbs up.
Okay.
You should give it a 4.2.
That is...
That would have been smart.
Yeah. Very nice. Very nice. So for me, and if you listen to the preview episode and you listen to our previous episode where we announced 42, I was very skeptical of this movie being even tolerable after watching Red Tails, because I don't trust Hollywood to tell the stories of our heroes anymore. But you know what? I really, really enjoyed it. So out of 5, I'm going to give it like a 4.5. I really had a good time. I was completely invested. Now, I enjoy baseball, but I was completely invested in the sports scenes. I was completely invested in the characters. I thought the acting was good. I thought it was all around was a really good movie. And more than anything, it made me proud of that, to watch that character on screen.
Yeah.
That's why I feel like I'd be dirty not giving it a 5 out of 5.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
you're just sucking up to black people.
Well,
But,
whatever.
You get the black curve.
yeah, exactly. He was an extra half a point because he's black. Now, out of 5, yeah, I mean 4.5. I think it's a fair score. I don't think any of our I I had a gigantic smile on my face the entire time this movie is going on. And you know what? That clip that we played before our intro, dude, I'm like watching the trailer so I could clip that part out. Yeah, I'm not made of stone. So fucking brought a tear to my eye, dude. I love that scene. It was amazing. I was very proud to watch this movie be done and done very well. So let's get right into it. This movie, of course, is starring Chadwick Boseman as Jackie Robinson. He's a relative newcomer. I don't know him from anything else. Do you guys know him from anything else?
He's a TV guy mostly. He's done film, but
nothing we really know.
Yeah, his filmography has 5 movies, including this one, and one coming up.
No, okay.
So that he's a TV guy. But he was great, man.
He was really good.
He was really good. Yeah. Like I hope this is his breakout role, and
I cannot imagine it wouldn't be.
And I hope this gets him a lot of work because he's also a stage actor, and you can tell he's classically trained. Like he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, no, I mean he was any of the scenes he had major line deliveries or everything like that. It was
spot on.
Yeah, it was spot on. It wasn't like Neo delivering them in Red Tails.
It wasn't halted. There wasn't. You weren't confused about what he was feeling. You knew what the hell was going on in his head because he was telling you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because he's an actor.
not a rapist or a R&B singer. Yes, there will be a lot of comparisons, I'm sure, to Red Tails in this episode.
So, how would you put him next to RZA?
I mean, I guess a little bit better. I mean, just a tad.
You will know who I am. My daddy left me.
That is rude. The RZA is a. All right, never mind.
He's a rapist.
He's a rapist.
No, he's not. He's a producer.
Yeah, okay. That's fair. Okay, so the movie starts out with this sort of montage talking about black folks coming back from World War II. I guess the prequel to this movie would be Red Tails. and black folks coming back from World War II, fighting the Nazis, but still being treated terribly like trash in the United States. So it sort of starts there with this, like, hey, this is history, as if you didn't know it. But you know what? Maybe some white people don't know that. I found it to be sort of redundant, because I read history books. But I thought it was an interesting way to start it. It was relatively forgettable, though. We were talking offline. I didn't even remember that scene at all.
It was forgettable, but then again, as one of the things I left this film with was I was talking to a few people saying, hey, you need to go see this. Take your kids so that they know and learn about what happened in this country and why they are where they are now, and to be thankful for what they have and to continue to keep on fighting. This is something, that opening, while very forgetful to us because we know what the hell's going on, is definitely there, should be there for the younger audience so they have an understanding of what life was like back then.
I think the opening was done with the hope that people going into this movie would already know this stuff, and just to get you into the frame of mind as to what to think. Like, hey, all that stuff you learned back when you were a kid in school, this is that time period. This is Jim Crow isn't some dude on the corner. Like, this is for real. And I think it was done quickly, maybe a little too rushed, but I'll give it
it did jump into the story pretty damn quick.
Right. But I'll give it a pass because, look, you're supposed to know about this stuff. You're supposed to know about it.
Yeah, I agree with both of you 100%. So after that, the start of the movie itself is with a character named Branch Rickey, who is played by Harrison Ford. And he is talking to his two underlings. Branch Rickey is the owner of the Brooklyn Dodgers. And also, I guess, the Montreal Royals, right? They're an international team. So Branch Rickey decides that we need to bring a Negro into baseball, into the major leagues, because one, we can make a lot of money, which was awesome because they were at least honest about it. And at that point, that's all you know. It's like he's like, hey, a lot of black people like to go watch baseball. Let's make some dollars.
Black dollars are green.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said. Right. So from there, I mean, well, let's talk about Harrison Ford's character. What did you think of Harrison Ford as Branch Rickey?
I am not a crook.
Yeah, he had a bit of a Richard Nixon-esque style about it.
And he had a lot of facial prosthetics, which
certainly
in the behind the scenes clips that I've seen where it's not lit properly, you can definitely tell his face is made out of plastic. So they make him look way older than he actually does, and
which is really like he looks pretty weathered.
Yes, and being an awesome actor, he's walking around shaking and can barely walk, and looks like an old ass man. And I think Harrison Ford did a great job.
I lost myself in that character.
I kept forgetting it was him.
Yeah.
Like I had a hard time seeing him.
Yeah, absolutely.
I had a very hard time seeing Indiana Jones.
Yeah. Well, it's been a number of years.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think he did a great job, man. No complaints at all.
Now, I did like the fact that the film admits right off the bat that this is about money, and it's not like, oh, we really love black people. I mean, we're fine with it, whatever. Trying to get that paper, dog.
Right.
So that's it,
and that gave it, like you said, that gave it a sense of, all right, I respect it.
Right. To me, it gave the movie instant credibility. I was like, oh, okay, they're actually being fucking honest about this.
Yeah.
Good. And honestly, starting at that point, because we don't start early in his life, we don't get to know him growing up. It started getting across that this movie wasn't about so much just Jackie Robinson, so much as the legend he was and what that meant to everyone. It was a much larger story than just one man, although that man was amazing.
It was about baseball changing.
It was about the country changing.
Yeah, and it was, this just happened to be one of the stories that helped the country change.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the country isn't done changing. It's always changing.
Oh, yeah.
It was a big step. It was
a fucking huge step.
It was
absolutely.
a huge step of acceptance from. There was a lot of people that were changing, like you saw in the film. People that were like, well, we'll get to it, but like the random person that walked up to him on the street, just to let you know, we're rooting for you.
Yeah,
it was just an awesome thing to see these people changing their minds.
Yeah, the white characters in the movie weren't all villains.
Right.
Yeah.
Just like 80% of them were villains.
Just like in real life. I'm just teasing. It's like 90%. No, so from there, we sort of get this interspersed conversation between Harrison Ford and his underlings are like, yeah, I'm really not sure this is a good idea, which that is a proper response considering it's America.
Like the one guy gets up like I thought he was about to leave. I thought he was about to walk out the room.
I fucking quit. Fuck this. I ain't gonna be responsible. So I mean, this is the mid 40s. So no, unacceptable. So you still had segregated bathrooms and Jim Crow law like raging at this point, right? So then on the other side of the conversation, we see interspersed with this conversation is Jackie Robinson playing. They show him playing in games with the
Monarchs,
the Negro League Monarchs, Kansas City Monarchs, and of course he's like better than everyone. He's incredibly good, and they stop. His team is on the bus, and they stop at a gas station somewhere in the South, and
he goes to use the bathroom.
Yeah, and it's the only bathroom. It's the only bathroom at the gas station.
Hey, boy. Hey. Now this gas station attendant was perfectly nice.
Yeah, to everyone.
To everyone. And even in saying, hey, boy, you can't go in there, he wasn't being mean.
He was just like, the rules.
It's like, you can't do that.
Yeah. And so Jackie Robinson, and this, meanwhile, this white guy is also pumping the gas, giving $90 worth, putting $90 worth of gas into there.
It was 90 gallons.
90 gallons, yeah, I'm sorry.
Whatever that is, but.
Yeah. And so Jackie Robinson, this is like the first moment you see him stand up for himself. This is the moment where they're sort of exemplifying, like, this is the type of guy he is. Yes. Outside of baseball, this is the type of guy he is.
This is where I thought it was a little ham-fisted.
It was. So what happens is Jackie Robinson goes up to the guy pumping the gas and he says, listen, go ahead and take the take the pump out of the tank. Like basically, we'll take our money somewhere. We'll buy 90 gallons worth of gas at another gas station since we can't use your one bathroom. And the guy backs down because, once again, just like Branch Rickey, it's more about money than anything else. Like, I don't like niggers, but I'm trying to get paid.
Yeah, I believe it was fine. We'll take our 99 gallons of gas somewhere else, and it was like, all right,
It's like, all right, just make it quick.
I could afford the Lysol.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
I'll just build another bathroom after I burn this to the ground. So then you see Jackie Robinson go into the bathroom, and he comes out, and it was kind of weirdly shot, but
it was because you couldn't tell
you didn't know the time frame.
Yeah, because the conversation was going on. The time frame in the office was going through a very long period of time. It was the discussion of maybe we're doing this, of trying to find who they're going to do it with. All this is interspersed with this whole gas station scene. And as they decide, we're going to go after this Jackie Robinson guy, is where some guy pulls up to the gas station to say, hey, Jackie, you're coming with me to go talk to Mr. Ritchie.
Yeah.
So
Ricky.
It was weirdly, the time was really weird.
That was one of the moments in the movie where I was like, this isn't shot properly. It's very confusing. Like I saw what they were going for, but it was really confusing.
Yeah.
So then, with all that, and like I said, that gas station scene was just to exemplify who he was. That was the only reason why that scene was there. The very next scene is Branch Rickey talking to Jackie Robinson about bringing him into Major League Baseball. And of course, Jackie Robinson at this point, while he's a big name in the Negro Leagues, obviously no one really knows who he is outside of maybe a couple of people in the in the majors who just have heard of him, right? If they even care. So he's shocked to even being
Anywhere
considered
near this.
Yeah, like he's a young kid at this point. And Branch Rickey has an interesting conversation with him about how do you integrate the league and what people need to believe about him. So here's a little bit of that.
People aren't going to like this. They're going to do anything to get you to react. Echo a curse with a curse, and they'll hear only yours. Follow a blow with a blow, and they'll say, the Negro lost his temper. Your enemy will be out in force, and you cannot meet him on his own low ground. We win with hitting, running, fielding, only that. We win if the world is convinced of two things: that you are a fine gentleman and a great baseball player.
Now, two things about this clip. One, that Richard Nixon voice was Harrison Ford, which was still amazing.
Yeah. It was good. I mean, it was well put on,
great.
though. It was good.
And the other part was that because we don't have the entire clip, he really gets into Jackie's face and starts yelling some rather racially charged obscenities in his face to get him going.
Right, because he wants to see how he reacts, not because he actually thinks it's acceptable.
Yeah, like this character does not approve of a damn thing. He does not like it. But he really gets into Jackie's face to try and get him going to see how he's going to react.
I believe he calls him a black son of a bitch.
He does. Yes, that's what he stands up.
Son of a bitch.
There you go.
But that scene was awesome because you know what? It's how any of us. I mean, he was pissed. Like, even though you realize you're being given this opportunity, you're gonna be called a black son of a bitch by some old white dude in the 1940s. This shit ain't happening. So I like that scene. The entire movie, I loved Branch Rickey and Jackie Robinson's interaction. I thought it was fantastic. It was a sort of a father-son thing, but more of it. From there, it's sort of, no pun intended, it branched off into more of a just a mutual respect for each other as the movie went on.
Yeah.
So from there, Jackie Robinson is sent off to basically kind of audition he gets sent to training camp for the International League team, the Montreal Royals. And he goes to Florida to train with them. This is where you get there is a lot of things that are not said in this movie Like, there's a lot of I mean, there's some parts that are pretty fucking devastatingly racist, but there's a lot of that, the looks that he gets and the sort of like, the whispers that you can hear, between, white people off in the crowd and stuff like that. Those are the things that are really big to me.
You don't get a lot of it in the Royals thing though, which is kind of telling with it being a Canadian team. You don't get a lot of the racist stuff, except from the one manager of the Royals who gets put in his place pretty quick by Ricky as he was there. He's like, so what do you think of him? He's like, oh, he's pretty good. He does this, he does that. Still a nigger out there. And Ricky's like, you're going to have to find a new job if you keep up with that at all.
Yeah. Dude, Branch Rickey was not fucking around.
Like, it was done. He stopped in his tracks like, no, or you're fired. And the guy said, yes, sir, and moved on.
Yeah.
That's power, man.
Yeah, exactly. I know that you're a racist. That's fine. I will fire your ass. I'm not even that racist anymore. It's weird. I'm trying to get this check, dude. I got like 18 kids. I got mouths to feed, homeboy. This is not worth it. But yeah, I mean, so they show Jackie Robinson training with them, and that scene where somebody hits a line drive to the shortstop, and he just fucking dives and catches it midair, and they show that in the trailer. It's like, he might be superhuman. It's like, you know what? He's really fucking good.
They were saying they're superhuman.
Oh yes, black people.
Yeah, they were saying they.
Yeah. Well,
they were right.
Listen, you breed the strongest, toughest, fastest slaves.
Yeah,
well, that's why you got the NFL.
who get
I'm serious.
Who get a lot of practice running away from home all the damn time.
I'm not even kidding. Germans wanted to create the master race. America did it. Okay.
Bred like livestock, like the biggest, strongest cows. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And you know what? Sorry, you fucked up. That's why we dominate basketball and everything else. We do. What happened to Christian Laettner? He was a popular name for about 8 minutes. That's it. So yeah, there was a number of moments like that where they sort of go back like, these black guys. I mean, fast twitch, slow twitch muscle.
It was a long heel bone.
Yeah, the long heel bone. I mean, come on, it's unfair. It's unfair to the white man. But yeah, the training camp was interesting because here you start to see black folk, like they start having games, and you start to see these black folks down in Pensacola, Florida, like fucking South, dude. Like it's seriously the South.
Sitting in the dirt watching the games.
Yeah, watching the games, and they couldn't. One of the things about this movie that I found to be very rare in black movies, which made me so happy, is that here you show Jackie Robinson and his wife, Ray, as a strong black couple.
I absolutely loved the relationship that those two had. I mean, it was purely this man loves this woman and this woman loves this man, and they are in it together. And you don't see that in real life.
Yeah, barely.
There's a scene like I was.
I'd like to think my marriage is like that.
I was telling Micah on the way. There's a scene in the trailer that's not in the film that I really wish we saw.
Okay, what was that?
They were in a restaurant. He had a box in front of him for something, and you could tell that there was an issue happening in the restaurant as people were standing up, like looking at them like, "Get the fuck up out of our restaurant." Don't know what was happening in the scene. It was just for like a couple seconds they showed it, but I really wish I had seen how those two dealt with that situation. Because they were really, like you said, just such a strong relationship. They were in it together. The whole, like the one scene where he gets real pissed off on the field and she says, "Look at me," like she's like in the stands trying to will him.
Yeah, coaching him almost.
Yeah, they were just so solid. And she was so beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, and
she is fucking gorgeous.
It was real black love, like not this bullshit that you see on most of these other movies that star predominantly black people. Like it's not all the drama and the crap that goes with. Like this man loves his woman, and this woman loves his man. She knows that he's trying to do something. She knows it, and she is there for him.
She is right. She's right next to him,
right beside him.
The first thing you see her do is call her,
right,
and on the phone he's like, "I can't tell you what's about to happen, but will you marry me?"
Because that was more important to him to ask that than to tell her that he was being courted by the Dodgers.
Yeah. I was refreshing. I really liked it.
Yeah, no, it was just like, so none of them are cheating and with the devil and getting HIV. None of that's not happening.
No light skinned dudes coming swinging in.
Yeah. Two dark skinned black folks getting along, and the husband isn't beating her. Great, good. Right. Good, because that doesn't fucking exist in cinema. Like, it hasn't existed in cinema in like 35 years.
I'm laughing and I feel bad.
Yeah, I'm laughing because I'm uncomfortable. You know, it's kind of like that. But I love their relationship. It was fantastic, and you know what? As strong as it was, and as uncommon as it is to see in black movies, it felt real. Like you said, it actually felt real. They did a really great job with it.
Yeah.
Now, Rachel's character is played by Nicole Bahari. She was good. She was really good. And
she wasn't just some weakling. She wasn't just some trophy wife.
Well, they established that in the scene when they were going towards the plane.
Yeah, but she had to use the bathroom, and she saw that whites only. She was like,
tell the whole thing.
And she was, so they're trying to catch a plane to Florida, and she had to use the restroom, and she was looking at the whites only door because she tells Jackie she had heard about it, but she's never actually seen one.
Right. Now remember, they're from California. That's why, proving once again a little bit more progressive. Even in 1945 or 46, black people in California, they live in like a nice house and shit like that. They're like,
that house threw me off. I was like, are you working there? What's going on?
Are you shining shoes outside? Like, what's happening? But yeah, black people were not living as destitute as they were in the South. They just weren't.
Right.
Which saddens me.
And I can't even remember if she had to use the bathroom or she just challenged it.
I think I didn't get the impression that she had to use the bathroom.
Yeah, I think she just challenged it.
She just looked at it and said,
"Whites only.
Fuck this.
Fuck you, whites only. I'm gonna walk my ass right in there." And she did it. And the flight attendant, the fucking flight attendant saw this, and when she comes out, all of a sudden they don't have tickets for their flight.
No, I believe the excuse was the plane is going to be too heavy with you on it.
Yeah, come on.
And then they
man.
gave their 2 seats to 2 white people, who I assume are very light. I guess they're like elves in Lord of the Rings. Like, they don't weigh a lot. So even though they're like full size. So I don't know.
Then when they challenged it, when Jackie sort of challenged it, the flight attendant picks up the phone and says, "You want to call the sheriff?" and hands him the phone, and that was pretty much.
Yeah, you want to call the sheriff, or shall I? It was like,
so they can show up and fucking lynch him or some nonsense like that.
And the next scene is them taking a bus from wherever they were all the way to Florida because they weren't getting on the plane.
One of the most insulting things is the excuse. The plane's gonna be too heavy with you on it. Go fuck yourself. If you don't want me on your fucking plane,
just say
I don't want you niggers on my plane. Like, don't. Well, the plane will be too heavy, and your dumb monkey brains will be able to buy that story. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit, man.
Like, I went to school in California, goddammit. I know what's up,
bitch. Like,
I know black people and white people weigh on average about the same. I understand.
Look, just because we got that extra bone in our heel doesn't mean we weigh that much.
that bone weighs 300 pounds.
Oh God.
per foot, guys. So the next scene is the next scene is them taking the bus all the way to Florida, and of course they are utterly miserable. They're greeted by Wendell Smith, who is a black reporter / kind of their body man. Like, he takes care of them, he drives them around, and he's looking out for them.
Driving Mr. Robinson.
Yeah. Now, Wendell was an interesting character because Wendell was, I think, in a lot of ways, the way that you see the movie.
He was the audience.
He's the audience, yeah. Because he's reporting on Jackie Robinson. He's friends with him, in some ways he's a close confidant in a lot of ways. Because Jackie Robinson doesn't really have like that best friend.
No, he's
not really ever.
Wendell's that one step removed from everything that's happening that we are. So
right. So yeah, I think he is as close to the audience as you're going to get. Yeah. And he was an important character, and he picks them up and he drives them, and they stay. Ray and Jackie stay at a house of a prominent black guy in Florida. Now, what was interesting is all the other players stay together, but Jackie Robinson had to stay separate from them.
And they also said that he was the only one there with his wife.
Yes.
Like there were no other wives allowed down there for spring training, but he was allowed to bring his wife.
Why do you think?
To try and make him more comfortable in this really awkward situation that he was about to be put in.
Yeah.
Well, I agree with you. I think that part's pretty obvious. But I also think that their relationship, the two of them, he couldn't have done it without her.
No, absolutely.
He couldn't have done it.
No way.
Once again, reinforcing how important their relationship was for them to make it through that.
Yeah.
The two of them. And there's some other things that they sort of allude to later on that I'll get to about some letters that they received, which is really fucking brutal. So from there, Jackie Robinson is training with the Montreal Monarchs. Thank you.
No,
And
Royals.
Royals.
Jesus.
Yeah, I know. The names are so easy to screw up. So he's training with them, and basically the white players they're kind of okay with him.
They don't seem to give a rat's.
And
They're not buddy with him, but they're not being assholes.
yeah, they're not. There's no vitriol.
They're being professional.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
what they're doing.
some of them, because remember, he's playing the game against. He's playing that sort of, it's almost like a pickup game of baseball, and he's stealing bases, and the pitcher is really pissed at him. He's the guy who ends up on the Brooklyn Dodgers as well, and ends up getting traded. And that guy was a piece of shit.
Oh, that was the same guy?
That was the same guy.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the same guy.
Because and he hated Jay. He was like your level of straight up racism at that point, but he didn't say anything. He just sort of glared at him.
Yeah.
You could tell I ain't too fond of what's going on here, But he never really came at him like I don't. Besides,
he was already on the Dodgers.
Yeah,
They
he
were
was
playing-
already
they were
he was
playing
already
the
there.
Dodgers.
The minor league team was playing the Dodgers because that's how they.
Oh.
Yeah, that was their spring training.
oh, okay. Sorry about that. Yeah. So he was the level of racism that you got, and that was where I was afraid. I was like, is this it? Is it like, because I was literally sitting next to you guys counting how many times they said nigger in the movie.
Yeah.
Because Red Tail said it once. Once. The entire time they fought the Nazis, you heard it one time. Which it was said one time, one guy got mad, knocked the plate over, and they fucking went home. It was really simple. Racism, you can easily defeat in about a half hour. And in this movie, I was like, okay, so they're just going to glare at him? Because let's get real, dude. No. It was way worse than that.
Yeah, when it got real, it got
really real. So moving on from there, Jackie Robinson has he gets brought on to the Royals officially. And
well, while they were still in town, we had
Go for it.
While they were still in town, they're sitting outside. Well, Jackie's dead asleep because he's worn the hell out from training. And Wendell and the guy who owns the house were sitting outside having some iced tea like good old Southern folk do. And some random white dude drives up, kind of old dude, walks up to the house. It's where he's staying? Don't know what you're talking about. You know what I'm talking about. You better get out of here. Whole bunch of other guys about to show up and blah, blah, blah. And basically saying that a whole bunch of dudes about to show up like a lynch mob and
kill him.
Yeah. And this old white man, for a second, I'm thinking, like, maybe he's a good guy, but he walks away kind of laughing about it, like, oh, you're just an asshole.
No.
Getting your rocks off right now.
No, when he pulled up, I was like, is he going to be the guy? Like, see, this is where my fear was, because I thought he was going to be the guy, like, saw your boy out there playing. I don't like niggers. But he's a good guy. Like, I thought it was going to be some bullshit like that, and I was like, no, no. That is Red Tails-esque, and I'm not pleased about it.
It did not happen.
Yeah, so dude was like, they coming, and I'm happy about it. I was like,
yeah, like I was fooled by that. Like it was like, look, they coming, and I thought he was mourning, and then he, and he gave this impression like, and if I was 20 years younger, I'd be leading the charge.
Yeah, exactly. I was like,
all right,
okay, well, fuck you, old man. How about that?
And I love the following scene where Wendell puts Jackie half asleep in the car and they're just driving through town. And
no, they were driving out of town.
They were driving
yeah,
out
they
of
were
town.
driving to Daytona.
And
yeah,
they ended up stopping accidentally in front of a bar, and the people from the bar saw Jackie Robinson in the car, started walking towards him, and Wendell took the hell off. And that's what he was told not to tell Jackie why they were taking off, but then he tells him, And Jackie just starts laughing his ass off. He's like, "What are you laughing at? I thought I was kicked off the team.
Yeah.
Like, this ain't shit."
It's like, oh, it's just some grade A racism. Oh, okay, I can deal with that.
Just show where Jackie's priorities were, which were it's pretty.
It was actually funny. Yeah, absolutely. So from there, Jackie Robinson ends up playing his first game with the Royals, which was interesting because it was actually in Montreal. The first major game that he played was in Montreal. And the reaction that he got when he came out was the Canadians did not care one bit that he was black, which was really fascinating to me. I've been to Canada, but I don't know about Canada's history with issues with black folks. I don't know that they ever really did.
Well, that's
I don't think they
super
didn't
north. So
right, like they didn't have slavery in Canada. I'm pretty sure. So I know they had some issues with Native Americans, but I don't know about black folks.
But
yeah, well, yeah, I know a couple of Native Americans. Oh, Canada,
well, I mean,
fucked up. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I'm reading about slaves escaping up to Canada. Just to get the hell out.
I think Canada was fairly slave friendly, if that's the right phrase. I feel like it's not.
It's about as close as you're gonna get.
Yeah. So, but it was interesting because the Canadians they were like, "Cool, man, this guy's good." Like I was like, "Wow, Canada, you're so nice." Okay, and you don't even.
Who was
Way
it?
to keep stereotypes alive.
Yeah, exactly. They didn't even have flip top heads.
I can't remember who it was. He was walking around Canada. I think it was Michael Moore walking around into other people's houses, just like, "Can I do this?" And just walked up to people's houses.
Have you ever been to Canada?
Have you seen the video I was talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And they're just like, "Hey, what are you doing in my house?" Okie dokie.
It's like, yeah, dude. Have either one of you guys been to Canada? Like spent any real time in Canada?
No.
Yeah, I have. It's like America, but really nice.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
Everybody apologizes all the time.
Yeah. Sorry about that. No, but Canada it's like America if it got its shit together. Like, you're like, come on, America, god damn it. And it's like, yeah, that's Canada. That's just kind of what it is. It's just really, really white. But so I don't know. I found that dichotomy between what you got to see him playing in Montreal. You're like, things aren't that bad for Jackie Robinson. This is pretty cool. Not when he got back to America, it wasn't.
Oh.
No, because then they went and played a game in Mississippi, Alabama.
Did you take the clip from that?
No, I don't have a clip from that one. But they're down in Alabama playing a game, and Jackie Robinson, what does he run? He runs into the catcher. He steals home.
He's stealing bases. He's being a badass on the field. Like he's showing them up. He's being Jackie Robinson on the field, which is amazing.
Yeah, and it was the baseball scenes were great to watch because I was fully invested, dude. I was like, oh shit, is it gonna make it? Is it gonna make it? I don't know.
I mean, because the way they were shot, it was
dynamic.
It was Jackie stealing all these bases, and it's like, just want to do the thing that he does.
His little dance, the little dance steps. He was like, and the smile where he's like looking at the picture, like teasing him, like, here I go, here I go.
Like watching him frustrate the
shit out of
right. It was great. Like it was great. Like it was. You just want to cheer for it. You know?
Absolutely. So during that game. In Alabama, he steals. He makes it onto first base, and then he steals second, third, and then he goes and he steals home. Now the catcher catches the ball before he gets there, and in baseball rules, you fucking slam into him, and if you can knock him off base, then you're safe, basically, right?
Sure, I don't fucking follow baseball,
right? So I mean. It's fairly. I mean, stealing home is fucking contact sport, dude. You better have the fucking shoulder to take that guy down. So he does, and the ref, the umpire comes over and's like, "You need to get your boy out of here."
No, not the umpire.
No, that was.
Oh, that's right. He was just a sheriff. Yeah, just like a sheriff, and he just stops the game and he's like, "You need to get out of here."
No niggas on the field.
Yeah, and dude was like.
You're not going.
Sorry.
He said the Brooklyn Dodgers aren't going to come down here and change our way of life.
Yeah. Now the coach for the Montreal Royals is white, and he goes, the sheriff is like, you should know better or whatever. You know, you don't do this. And he goes, I'm from Mississippi. And he goes, well, you definitely should know better. Like, dude, that sheriff was a racist. Yeah. So then he basically threatens to arrest Jackie Robinson for assaulting a white man.
Did he? I thought
that's basically what he said.
He was going to arrest him for being on the field.
Yeah, both of those. How about that? You touch that guy. And also, you're black.
Give me an excuse.
Yeah. I would love to use this billy club across your forehead.
Yeah.
So,
meanwhile, the guy was like ancient. Like,
yeah, I don't think it would have worked out for that sheriff.
Right.
That fight between him and Jackie Robinson.
Come on, man.
Side note, Chadwick Boseman was fucking jacked in this movie. He was
pretty big.
Yeah. I don't think it would have worked out for that racist sheriff. Like, listen here, boy. That's a man. That ain't no boy, dude. He gonna fuck you up, dude.
That dude is twice your size and half your age.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
He's gonna whoop your ass around all those bases, and it's gonna be amazing. Now, see, I would have liked that as a deleted scene. He just kicks the shit out of that guy. I could watch a racist get beat up every day.
Like 50 deleted scenes of him beating up every shipwright that says something to him in the movie.
It's just deleted scenes of him just holding them down, just punching them in the face. Like, wow. By 42, the Django edition Blu-ray copy. Like, wow, I did not see this coming. So from there, you know, they basically tell him like, beat it. You know, you're fucking not welcome here. So from there, you get Jackie basically gets pulled up to the Dodgers because he's doing amazingly well. What did they say? He was batting in the Negro
like 650 or something like that.
In the Negro League, he was batting 650, and I think he was batting something like in the 400s or so, or 400-500.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, like 500 means he got a hit every other time he went to bat. That's crazy. That's crazy. If you bat 300 in the majors now, you are the shit. And people are like, this guy's on drugs. Okay, like immediately. And dude was batting 650 in the Negro League. That's crazy high. So against people like Satchel Paige, you know, that's insane. So from there, Jackie gets pulled up to the Brooklyn Dodgers, and once again, his relationship with Ray is exemplified over and over again, and them making it together, and them as a team. So, he's traveling with the team. He's going to Panama. He's getting ready to go to Panama City to start spring training with the actual Brooklyn Dodgers. And there's a conversation between Ray and Jackie on the porch before he leaves, and because she says the closer you get to being a real Dodger, the worse the shit is going to get, basically. And she's 100% right. So here's that clip.
Promise me you'll write.
When have I ever not written?
I want you to know I'm there for you, even if it's words on paper.
Ray, you're in my heart.
You're getting close now, and the closer you get, the worse they'll be. Don't let them get to you.
I won't. God built me to last.
I like that scene.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I'm not a religious person, but I like that scene. Like it's a cool thing to say, because you know what? You gonna need something, homeboy.
Yeah.
The shit's about to throw at you is.
Yeah.
I don't like. Look, even if I had the athletic talent, I don't think I could do it. What he did, I don't like. Not even like dealing with that weight on your shoulder. You know, dealing with the vitriol and the horrible shit he had to deal. I don't think I could do it. You know what? I know I couldn't do it, because there's a scene we're going to talk about. There's no way I wouldn't have punched this person in the face.
Yeah, the Ben Chapman scene.
That
Get the
was
fuck out of here, man.
No, that would have been the Django edition of this Blu-ray, because I would have I would been holding him down and punching him until they pulled me off.
You could say he lost control after that, but no, he was in control to walk the hell away.
Yeah,
not
so sure. 43, the true story of Jay, would work out quite the same,
because that's your number in jail.
Yeah, exactly. They would have had to arrest me right off that field. So Jackie Robinson goes to Panama City to actually train with the Brooklyn Dodgers, and this is the first time that his teammates are actually like openly like, fuck this guy. We don't want him here.
Yeah, the first scene we see with them is his teammates sitting around just kind of drinking and talking about signing a petition about how they don't want to play with this dude. Period.
Yeah.
It's like you don't really know any of these guys at all at this point. You just get to see, fuck this guy. And I mean, you get introduced to a couple of people that refuse to sign a petition, and they remain awesome throughout the film.
Yeah,
yeah, like Pee Wee Reese,
Yes.
who's played by Lucas Black, who I thought did a really good job. And
Yes.
he was a shortstop for the Dodgers. So, and they actually became quite close friends as the movie progressed. Now, I thought the petition part was really quite funny because here these guys are like, we ain't gonna play with them or whatever. I would have been like, okay, well, you're all fucking fired.
Yeah,
I thought it was the
You're done.
dumbest petition in the world too, because it was like, "What we undersigned don't want to play with this Negro."
Yeah,
and then sign it.
I was like, so you don't want to play? Do you think he's better than you? Like, are you scared?
So, reading from Wikipedia, Kirby Higbee, who is the pitcher, Pittsburgh, that guy.
Yeah, that guy is...
Kirby Higbee, Bobby Bragan, Dixie Walker, and Carl Furillo signed that petition, and all except for Furillo were Southerners. And Branch Rickey threatened to trade anyone who refused to play with him. And Bragan and Walker, they were like, all right, I want my job.
Yeah, fuck that.
And Kirby Higbee is the one that got sent to Pittsburgh.
Good.
And we were a Baltimore crowd, right? And it was a Baltimore crowd in that movie theater. And, Baltimore, we have this manufactured rivalry with Pittsburgh.
So it just works out perfectly.
Right. It was at Pittsburgh. Like, there's literally a commercial that runs on Baltimore television that's just a guy saying, Pittsburgh. It was fun for me.
Yeah. But I did think it was just really interesting. Like, this guy earned his way onto your team, and you still don't want to play with him because of the color of his skin.
Yep.
Like, but he could help you win. Don't you care about winning and money more than racism?
It's artificial. It's those long heel bones. They don't like them.
Yeah. Listen, you mark my words. Black Negroes are gonna run white man right out of baseball.
Can we talk about the black heel bones for a second?
We'll get there.
Is that further away?
That's further away.
Okay,
Yeah, we'll get there.
Oh, I love that.
So, that is disaster. So, so from there, these players are signing these petitions. Like you said, Branch Rickey is like, I'll fucking trade you.
Fucking fire you.
Yeah.
All right.
And so he does. I mean, he trades. He trades the one guy.
He tells the manager, "Go get these idiots straight."
Yes. Now the manager is what's his name?
Leo DeRocher.
Yeah, Leo DeRocher, played by Christopher Maloney from Oz and from one of those fucking SVU. I like Christopher Maloney, and I like this character. One thing I'll say is, looking at a picture of Leo DeRocha, he looked just fucking like him.
Just like him.
Yeah, dude, he really does. Like, the casting was good from the perspective of acting and everything else. But as far as like looking like these characters, dude, they were spot on.
They nailed it, man.
They fucking
nailed it.
So yeah, Leo DeRocha is basically kind of a badass. He's like, I don't really give a shit that he's black. I give a shit that we're gonna win.
And that my boss just told me to get your asses straight. So he shows up
in the middle of the night.
Yeah, drags him into the kitchen in the middle of the night, just throwing around pots and pans and just saying, we're gonna have him on, like it's part of the trailer. Like, he's gonna play on this ball club, like screaming at these guys. Like, it does not matter. He can play. He will play.
And you know what? Some of them get it together. Some of them don't.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pittsburgh.
Get a rope. That's all I'm thinking.
That's basically it. So, okay. So from there, they finish training camp and the season starts. And this is where, right at this point, the racism has ratcheted up a little bit.
Were you on like 5 niggers on your hand when you were counting?
Yeah, I think I'm at about 5 or 6. we're at stage 5 in the nigger count, and so I'm like, all right, we got 4 or 5 more than Red Tails. We're doing all right.
The niggerometer.
Yeah, exactly. The ticker is going up. It's like the what is it? The Price is Right with the little guy, and it's like
Instead of yodeling, he's screaming nigger on the way up.
Yeah, exactly. That's my meter, right? So at this point
what was that called? Cliffhanger?
Yeah, it's cliffhanger. Yeah. See, that's terrible. That is awful. So at this point, we're at 6, right? We're at 6, and they finish training camp and whatever. The team, it hasn't coalesced around Jackie Robinson at this point, but you start to see some like some cracks in the racist armor of some of the characters, right? And they're just like, yeah, you know what? This guy is not a bad guy.
It's mostly just looks too. They're not really saying anything to him yet. They're just kind of
Like it's like we have to deal with it, so let's just deal with it. And then, okay, he's not, an asshole. He's not a demon. He's
we
not
did
a
have
monkey.
the locker room scene, which show that first when he walks in the locker room.
Oh yeah, go for it. Yeah,
he walks in the locker room and there's the guy who runs the locker room who doesn't seem to give a rat's ass, but at the same time might be following somebody's screwed up orders. Like, oh hey, you're looking for your locker. Follow me. Here's your locker. Can't do anything right now, so just deal with this hanging post on the freaking wall and a chair in front of it. He doesn't have a locker. But leading up to that, as he's walking past the players, they're just kind of, some of them are just looking at him, and then a few of them walk up and shake his hand, say, hey, this is me. And he's like, oh, greetings, which I thought was weird.
That was weird.
He kept saying greeting, but like he got 3 or 4 handshakes from other players that were like excited for him to be there.
I don't know if they were excited more so as just like, all right, look, I got to deal with this, so just, hey, let me.
I think they might have been a little bit excited because they saw how he could play.
Maybe. Or maybe I'm just jaded.
You're just an angry black man. I understand. I'm right there with you. But in that scene, you get the pitcher who ends up getting traded to Pittsburgh. He says that he doesn't like what's happening, and he's saying all this in earshot of Jackie Robinson, but he's not saying it to him because, like most racists, he's a coward.
Was that scene or was that a later scene?
This was the scene.
It happened more than once.
Yeah, and he says that, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening in my country. Or was that when he gets traded?
That was later when he did.
I know he did one. I know he did one when he was leaving. Once he found out he got traded.
I think that's when it was.
Yeah, when he said, "This is America I know."
Yeah,
really
and then he ran out and said, "Pittsburgh."
Yeah. So, this isn't the America I know was his comment. Which, that sounds familiar.
It smells like Fox News.
Smells like the Tea Party to me.
Anyway, moving away from that.
So from there, they go and they play the Phillies, and this is
where the niggerounder exploded.
Yeah, it just fucking it was making noises and sparks were coming out, and then it blew up because holy shit! And this is the part of the movie that really takes it. It does its like Red Tails thing and just blows it out of the water because it actually addresses real racism and what racism really felt like that open in that time in 1947.
Yeah. And now this is, if you've seen Firefly, and most people have, one of the favorite characters was Wash. Another movie
played by Alan Tudyk.
Another movie he was in one of the Transformer movies as a background character, randomly as hell. Anyway, he's a great guy. He's a fun actor. But holy shit, did he bring his A game when he was in this fucking movie? So
Alan Tudyk plays Philly's manager Ben Chapman,
who looks just like him.
Yes, he does. Once again, great casting. And when Jackie Robinson gets up to bat on 3 different occasions during this game, Alan Tudyk just stands on the field and is just yelling the worst shit I've ever heard someone say in my life.
First he starts with, hey, nigga, 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 nigga. And it's just like, whoa, what?
Like,
whoa.
I tried to keep count, but I lost it. Sorry, guys.
It was like, and when he did that, you're thinking, okay, that's going to be it, right?
Nope.
No, he was coming up with every ridiculous racial.
I believe the one line was your skin, your tar baby skin is gonna melt in the sun.
Oh my god!
Hey, Mr. Bojangles, you dropped your hat. Why don't you leave it on the ground and I'll put some change in it?
There was another one too.
That level, dude. That is some grade A level racism, dude.
It was so absurd that you couldn't help but laugh at how insane it was. He said a couple.
I wasn't I was angry. Although the Mr. Bojangles thing I thought was just very funny.
I was just amazed that this shit was coming out of someone's mouth in front of a giant crowd of people like this. And I mean, this is what happened back in those days, but.
No, yeah. Let me ask you a question. I don't go to too many baseball games, so
they yell nigger all the time. No, I'm kidding.
Is jeering like that a part of the game to psych out?
Yeah.
Like
hey, better.
Yeah,
that's
what it was. It was playing on the hey batter thing, which was why it was so.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I was kind of laughing. I'm like, that's so fucking ridiculous.
Okay, I'm just
right. Like that kind of thing happens. It just doesn't.
No one yells. No one yells a bunch of racial epithets.
All right, I was just wondering, if it's like, hey, kike, like people don't do that, right? Like they don't.
No, they don't do that now. Well, not now.
According to this guy, they did it all the time.
Ben Chapman. Now, in fairness, Ben Chapman is he's an everyman's racist because he hates everyone who isn't him. He hates everyone because he said, well, we'll get to it, but he talks about other races too. He doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
He doesn't give a fuck. But that scene where he is just laying into Jackie Robinson.
I forgot he was telling him to go back to the jungle and all that good stuff.
I believe he said, did you swing out of the jungle to get here?
Oh, Jesus.
So in fairness, he wasn't telling him to go back in the jungle. He was saying that he just left.
That's fucking...
That's racist. It's like super racist.
Shit is racist.
Yeah. I can't. Now, do you think... Okay, now, we got to address it because I think it's going to happen. Do you think that people are going to have a problem with the word nigger being used too much in this movie?
I want the same people that had a problem with Django to open their fucking mouths now. And that includes Spike Goddamn Lee. It's a movie that had nigga. I mean, you don't even know how many were in that one scene. And it's written and directed by a white man. Spike Lee, open your fucking mouth again, please.
Yeah, because that's history.
Because if you don't open your mouth, you're showing what a fucking hypocrite you are.
I agree with you. Because there's no denying that shit happened, dude.
Yeah.
There are people who are still alive.
Shit's on tape.
Yeah, shit's on tape, dude. Ben Chapman was fired at the end of that season. He was fired. Never managed baseball ever again. Gonzo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and from that scene, you get Jackie Robinson going into the dugout after being called every racial epithet this guy could think of. He goes into the dugout, into the sort of hallway where no one is around, and you can see this in the trailers. He smashes his bat against the wall.
This is the third time of a bat, though. It takes him a while to get to this point. He's
seething at this point.
He's seething, but he's keeping it in control anyway. He's showing why he was the right choice to be on the field. He was the right choice to bring out to do this. Not only was he amazing, he was also just he was the man that could soak it the fuck up and direct it somewhere else where it wouldn't be, look at the black man flipping the fuck out.
Yeah.
But it also shows that he's human. No one is going to just sit there.
He's not Superman.
And take that shit, man.
Yeah. Once again, this would have been a part of the story where I would have beat him within an inch of his life with a baseball bat.
Man, the first fucking time at bat, Bojangles, really?
This is also while this is happening,
motherfucker.
Look, you're wearing a hat right now. If you want to lay on the ground, just throw some change in.
Man, I pulled my goddamn knife out so fast.
Can you imagine? I'm really upset that Terrence isn't here for this.
Oh my god, Terrence would have threw something at the screen.
This is bullshit.
He would have threw his fist at the screen.
Right.
He just started punching.
He fucking did a Superman punch at the goddamn screen.
While this is going on, like, it's also really, really important, because while I'm trying to get it out, was the pitchers were just throwing him balls.
Yes.
They weren't trying to let him do anything.
No, and also there was another scene another part during this scene as Ben Chapman is fucking leveling this amount of racism, you get the first time one of Jackie Robinson's teammates stands up for him.
Yes.
Because the guy comes off the bench. I don't remember his name in the movie, but he comes off the bench and he walks over to Ben Chapman and says, "Sit down, you're embarrassing yourself. If you don't sit down, I'll put you down." Yeah. And he basically threatens to kick his ass. He's like, "You're taking advantage of the fact that you know that Jackie can't fight back." He's like, "Why don't you say that shit to me? Because I can't fight back and I'll fuck you up," basically. And
then the umpire basically tells him to sit the fuck down.
Yeah, tells Jackie Robinson's teammate to sit down. Now, what I loved was the level of sweet, delicious racism that Ben Chapman then levels against this white guy by saying, "What does it feel," quote, "what does it feel like to be a nigger's nigger?"
I forgot about that.
I don't know how you forgot about it. It's a pretty epic fucking racist line. And of course, the guy answered with the perfect response. "I don't know. What does it feel like to be a redneck piece of shit?" And you know what? I was like, thumbs up.
Good for
there.
you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Can we? Jesus, that's creepy. Also, I love just a quick mention of the announcer that they had throughout all the Dodger games.
Oh, Dr.
Cox.
Dr. Cox from Scrubs. He was awesome.
Putting on his 1940s accent with his comb-over haircut, and it was just
He
great.
was awesome.
He was awesome. He was on Jackie's side, so he was really awesome.
Yeah.
It was just great listening to him.
There's actually a clip later that we have where you can actually hear him speak. It's really quite funny.
Right.
Now, there is another moment. So after Jackie goes into the dugout and smashes the bat against the wall and he's screaming and he's a fucking wreck, Branch Rickey comes down and he's talking to him. And that I liked because that was sort of the father-son thing. Yeah. Because he didn't have a dad at all. I mean, you heard in the clip that we played before the intro that his father left and he didn't remember it. Branch Rickey was the closest to a father that he had, and not in a like, "Hey, I'm white and I'm mentoring you, dummy" sort of way, but
No, he was
a real respect that you would have.
Respect and a spirit, like,
and he cared for him.
Yeah, he cared for him. There was that spiritual leading he gave him a little bit.
They were both Methodist, right?
And and at the end, he literally had a shoulder to cry on.
Yeah, he
like
literally
at the end of that scene, he was literally like Ricky was actually holding him, and because he was like Jackie was already on the ground crying at this point. He was smashing and crying. It was rough to watch, honestly.
Yeah, it really was. I haven't seen a movie that showed that level of raw emotion as that scene did in a long time. Yeah. Like, it felt real. Yeah. It's like, are they actually, like, during the times where this movie is not being taped, are they actually just, like, yelling real racial epithets at him, you know?
Right. like, are they treating him, is everyone being method?
Yeah, exactly. Are they really threatening his life? You know what I mean? But, I mean, that emotion that he leveled in that scene was awesome. Awesome. Like, I mean, once again, everyone did an excellent job in this movie. Yeah. And this is the scene where, as he's walking the dugout, Ray is saying, like, sort of mumbling to herself, like, "Look at me," you know, like, kind of calm down, because she could see it in him that, like, she was close enough to hear all the shit Ben Chapman was saying, and it was just, she knew.
Right. There's only so much that any human being is going to take.
But I like how he dealt with it afterwards too. Like when they
go ahead. Go into it.
What was his stupid name? The Phillies manager. I keep forgetting.
Ben Chapman. I will never forget that name.
Chapman was getting railed by his bosses. Well, there was this escalating thing with the Phillies, and it was bad press. And his bosses were saying, "You need to bring this down. You're bringing the ball club down." So he said, "Okay, fine. I'll have my picture taken with Robinson so that everybody knows that we're cool." And then it's presented to Robinson. He's like, so he's going to come down to the locker room. He's like, no, we're going to do this on the field in front of everybody.
That is exactly what they should have done.
And it was awesome. And he goes out to the field to have the picture taken, and Chapman's reluctant to go over and actually take the picture with Robinson. So he's like, hold on a second. Here, we'll each hold the bat. That way we don't have to touch each other. And it's just here, and there's Robinson smiling at Chapman, and Chapman just looking miserable. And this photo, as Micah just turned to me, is real.
Yes,
and you can definitely see Robinson's okie doke. And Chapman is displeased greatly.
Now, here's the interesting thing. After Ben Chapman has a conversation with the owner of the Phillies, the owner of the Phillies calls Branch Rickey because they had another game to play later on in the season or something like that, and he basically told him like, don't show up with him.
Oh
again.
yeah.
And so here's the conversation.
Was that the Phillies, or was that?
That was the Phillies. Yeah, it was the Phillies. The city of brotherly love.
Was that where they got booted from the hotel?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Herb.
Hello, Herb. What can I do for you?
Branch, how long have we known each other?
Oh, 20 years, maybe more.
Now, I'm afraid that we're not going to be able to take the field against your team if that boy's in uniform.
Why is that, Herb? Name is Jackie Robinson, by the way.
Yeah, Branch, I understand he's got a name, but we're just not ready for that sort of thing here in Philadelphia.
Well, what you do with your team is your decision, Herb. But my team's going to be in Philadelphia tomorrow with Robinson. And if we have to claim the game as a forfeit, so be it. That's 9-0, in case you forgot.
You know what, Branch? You've had a hell of a hair across your ass over this for a long time, and I'd like to know what it is you think you're trying to prove.
You think God likes baseball, Herb?
What the hell is that supposed to mean?
It means someday you're going to meet God, and when he inquires as why you didn't take the field against Robinson in Philadelphia, and you answer that it's because he was a Negro, it may not be a sufficient reply.
I love that line. I love that line to death.
It's a very well delivered. Yeah, it's just, why are you so afraid?
Yeah.
What are you so afraid of?
Yep.
Long heel bone, I guess.
Is that soon? Okay.
That's coming up. So, now, after that, you just watch this montage of Jackie Robinson fucking dominating.
Actually, after that, they go to the hotel to go play the Phillies, and the hotel manager won't let the entire team in at this point. Nobody on the team can come in because Robinson's there. At this point, a couple of the racists on the team start to revolt. Mainly one, not the pitcher actually, somebody else starts really being loudmouthed about how Robinson's ruining everything for him. It's just giving him shit about how, don't you have some couches we can sleep on? Don't you always have some friends around town? And just being a total asshole. And then their new manager, because their previous manager got fired for sleeping around with some random chick. Now they have a new manager who's getting in the face of the hotel manager, and it's just all this angry fighting.
That dude, by the way, is from Barney Miller. He was a young, dumb cop from Barney Miller.
Seriously?
That's who that dude is. Wow. Showing how old that show is, because that dude was old now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Character's name was Burt Shotton.
Yeah.
There you go.
Old man from Barney Miller. Which I used to love that show. So, yeah, now that was interesting because his teammate says, maybe we could stay at, one of your friends' houses, implying the whole thing about when he was staying with the people in Florida. He was staying with them because you guys were racist, not because he likes hanging out, drinking fucking,
not because it's
sweet tea.
Preferential treatment. It's because,
bigots.
Right. You guys are going to fucking kill him.
Yeah.
God's sakes.
Yeah. Like, I can't believe this guy is dealing with bigotry. Like the bigotry I'm leveling against him right now. Like, well, that's weird, So I like it's an amazing thing how bigots don't realize that they're bigots. Yeah,
because being bigots is wrong, and they can't be wrong.
No, I just don't like niggers. I don't see what's the problem. What's the problem, guys? I don't get it. So from there, Jackie Robinson they're playing in another game, and this other guy just comes and fucking he steps on the back of his leg. Actually,
spikes him.
No. Before that, okay, and this is actually the scene. Look, if you don't get emotionally worked up during the scene, you're not a human being. Okay, you're a stone. You're a stone with a face. The shortstop Pee Wee Reese goes to see Branch Rickey in his office because he has received a threatening letter from some people.
Calling him a carpetbagger.
Yeah, calling him a carpetbagger and a, quote, nigger lover. And
which you could see written on the note like through it.
Details.
I could see the 2 looping G's as it was written. I was like, wow, that's all right.
You didn't have to actually write. They're like, no, I want to write.
Imagine whose job it was to sit behind there and write nigger lover on a letter.
I can't wait to write it.
Props.
Yeah, exactly. This guy's like, my job is awesome. Written by a real true racist. So Pee Wee Reese is really concerned about Jackie's safety and his own safety in this town. And Branch Ricky's response is hilarious because he's like, oh, this is a pretty serious letter. And then he goes to a filing cabinet and pulls out 3 very thick folders of horrible letters that Jackie Robinson has received.
Not even well-written letters. It's like a page with giant words. Fuck you, die, nigger. Like 4 words on it.
Yeah, well, racism isn't smart.
No.
So,
but the letters were like,
we're going to kill your wife.
We're going to kill your baby.
We're going to kill your baby. And it was just like, Jesus Christ. Like, okay, I don't actually get racism because I'm not a moron, but like, I understand being afraid of things that you don't know. I get the human idiocy behind racism. I don't understand being cool with threatening to kill children.
Yeah, it's a baby.
It's a baby, dude. Like, guys, it seems I think you might be going a little far. Like call a grown man, whatever you want to call him. Yell at him from a distance because you're a fucking coward. Yell at him from a distance. That's all fine and good. Whatever. You're just being a dick, but don't threaten to kill someone's kid. That's fucking horrible.
It's called empathy. They don't feel that these people that they don't like are people. They can't.
Well, that's true.
They can't empathize with it whatsoever.
Well, and this brings up a larger conversation is how does that make sense? You own black people, treated them like dog shit, but then you think that they're terrible and they're worthless. What?
Yep.
Like I don't know. The hoops the mental hoops you have to jump through to say, wait a minute, yeah, we kind of did some fucked up shit to them. Yeah, but first we should be afraid of them.
First, they have to think the shit's fucked up, like that asshole recently at the CPAC thing for the shit back from Towson. It's like, oh well, we fed them and clothed them and gave them a roof over their head. Don't understand that racism was bad and refuse to see that racism was bad because clearly he has to be right, so that can't be bad.
Yeah, if I go up to that guy and I take his wife and his mother and his father and him and his children and I take them and I make them work in a field for me all day for free, meanwhile raping his mother, raping his wife, beating his kids, beating him, and then I give you a hot pocket at the end of the evening, is it that bad?
I think the hot pocket's the worst part.
Okay.
I fucking hate hot pockets.
Fine, a lean pocket if you're trying to watch your weight. So I mean that's the thing that doesn't make sense, and that's why people like that. No, I was gonna say shouldn't exist, but that seems harsh. Yeah, they shouldn't exist. Fuck them. You know what? Fuck those people. That's ridiculous. Fuck them. So from there, Branch Rickey just laughs in Pee Wee Reese's face, like, dude, please. Yeah. Oh, somebody called you a carpetbagger. I don't really give a shit. Yeah. Look at this shit this guy has to go through.
He's like, does Jackie know? He's like, yeah.
Yeah, he fucking knows. He brought me the letters.
Right. Like, what the fuck? That didn't come addressed to me.
Yeah, exactly. Although I'm sure Branch Rickey probably got quite a few too. I'm sure of it. So that moment is what makes Pee Wee Reese see the world in a very different light. And it was his turn. It was his turning point. He never signed that petition. He was never anti-Jackie Robinson, but I don't think he had that level of empathy
or respect
until he saw those letters.
And then the next scene,
according to Wikipedia, take it with a grain of salt, his family just didn't raise him like that. Like his family just didn't, just they were like, all right, you're black, so what?
That's where racism comes from. Is how you're raised.
And the scene, the ball game scene there is really great because it shows you it. In case you don't know, it shows you how racism is taught. They cut to a character in the stands. I'll never forget this. They cut to a character in the stands, and he's the character's like Pee Wee Reese's uncle or something like that.
Was it?
Is he? Oh, I didn't
think
realize
he was. I
thought he was just some guy.
I thought it was just some random dude.
I thought he was related. I might be wrong.
I don't think he had anything to do with Pee Wee Reese.
All right. Well, just some dude.
I don't want him to have anything to do with Pee Wee Reese.
just some guy, and he's sitting there with a kid, and Jackie Robinson comes up, and yeah, I think you're right. And he's like, "Oh, hey, Pee Wee Reese is a local boy,
Yeah, 'cause they're talking about him like, I'm a fan of Pee Wee
Right,
Reese.
I'm a fan of his, and Jackie comes up and he's like, "Boo, get out of here, nigga, boo!" And the kid is just looking like, "Oh, all right, this guy that I look up to is saying, fuck this guy, fuck this nigger, so I'm gonna yell out, boo, nigger, go home!" And
he barely even knew what he was saying.
He didn't know what he was saying, and it illustrates to you that this type of behavior is taught. Even if you're not, sitting down in front of a blackboard saying, hate these people because they don't look like you, kids pick up on this stuff. And it's
normal for them. And
But
as my wife says, normal doesn't mean right.
Right.
I like to think it got squashed in the next 5 minutes after what Pee Wee Reese actually does on the field.
And when Pee Wee Reese comes up and he, in front of his hometown, and he
we
puts
have this
his
clip, by the way.
Oh, okay, all right, yeah, go play it.
Yeah, we'll play it.
They can say all they want. We're just here to play ball.
It's just a bunch of crackpots still fighting the Civil War.
Well, hell, we'd have won that son of a gun if the cornstalks would have held out. We just ran out of ammunition.
Better luck next time, Pee Wee.
Ain't gonna be a next time, Jake. All we got's right here. Thank you, Jake.
What are you thanking me for?
I got family up there from Louisville. I need them to know. I need them to know who I am.
Hey, number one! You playing ball or socializing?
Playing ball, up. Playing ball. Maybe tomorrow we'll all wear 42. That way they won't tell us apart.
Now
that's a great scene.
What you don't see is when the crowd gets really loud is when he puts his arm around Jackie's shoulder and he just holds it there the whole time while he's talking to him.
Like they were best friends.
And then that kid sees that, and you see, the inner workings of his brain. Like, wait a minute,
I like Pee Wee Reese, and Pee Wee Reese likes him.
Pee Wee Reese likes that guy. So why,
You can stay, nigger. Oh wait, sorry. My racist logic has fucked up because I'm a stupid kid. Because it's already in my evil brain. Racism is evil. Fuck him. Not because he's white. That's not what I meant.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying you've already just decried.
Sorry.
This kid's evil.
Sorry.
And he's gonna die.
This
now,
kid,
right?
Sorry.
that might be the turning point for that kid.
Or it might not be.
Could you give him a little bit of time to prove it? Just give him a week. Just give him a week.
I'm sorry. Sorry, kid. You yelled it. You're fucked.
Time to die.
Yeah, you're done.
Uncle Jay's coming over tonight.
Yeah. I am not related to that kid. So from there, you get to see, once again, some of the crowd is really kind of coming around to him, and they're starting to accept him, which, comparative to Red Tails, one fly mission, hey, you Red Tails boys are good. Racism over. Color boy flyers. So yeah, I mean, this was the exact opposite of that. It took a long time.
Was this
It took
before or
the
after?
entirety of the movie.
Was this before or after the incident in the street? Remember, he and his wife were walking down the street, and a random white guy comes running up to him.
That's way early.
Yeah,
It was still a cool scene when the guy comes up to him and he's like, "Get behind me!" And he gets in front of his wife, like he's about to protect himself, and the white guy's just like, "Hey, just let you know, a bunch of us are rooting for you.
Yeah,
you're on the field. You're doing good, and if you prove yourself, so blah blah blah."
You know that scene actually I found interesting from the perspective of, in America there was like two or three levels of racism back then. There was the general "you're black, I'm white" racism. Then there was like rich people who looked down on black people because they were poor racism. Then there were poor whites who looked down on black people because racism. And then there were also poor whites who were like, we're okay, so that's 4. And I'm good at counting. And then there's poor whites who could identify, because they were so disenfranchised in America anyway, they could identify with black people.
Yeah.
Which is kind of interesting. And those people, they were like poor construction worker type guys. And they're like, we're rooting for you. And it's like, we're disenfranchised. You're disenfranchised. Hey, it's cool, man.
Can you imagine just how broke you got to be?
To be as broke as black people in 1947.
They were Irish. They were Irish.
They were Irish.
Yeah.
I'm not even joking. They were
Irish. Yeah. Bunch of Murphys and O'Hallahan.
Racist. Why are you so racist? Jesus.
I mean, in fairness, come on.
Their potatoes.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, you got to be pretty goddamn broke. Pretty goddamn broke. Fresh off the boat, I guess. I don't know. But I found, I mean, because that's still a staple of truth now, is there are some people, like poor black and poor white, either are absolutely cool and they integrate and it's like, hey, whatever, or they hate each other. There's no medium. It's like, look, motherfuckers trying to take our jobs. Fuck that shit. Or it's like, well, we in it together, dude. We ain't got a nickel to rub together, and neither do you. So, I don't know. I found that interesting, and I'm glad it came from poor whites because it's more accurate.
Yeah.
It just is. So, from there, during the same game, and they're playing the Phillies again. This is the Phillies again because they have that douchebag pitcher, like the guy who doesn't really say anything.
The guy that looks like a Nazi.
That was the Pirates.
Oh yeah, okay.
That's
I'm
Pittsburgh.
Sorry. Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Pittsburgh.
The guy looked like a Nazi.
Yeah, he did. He had a super German name too.
I think his name was like
Steve Volkswagen.
Right. It was like Jeremy McRamstein.
I was amazed there was no accent. Like they brought him over after the war.
999 Negroes in the major league. So, so Jackie Robinson plays first base, and somebody on Pittsburgh gets a hit, and as he's running down the line, he stabs his spikes in the back of Jackie Robinson's leg on purpose. So let's play that clip.
Wait a second. Was this the same game where the ump called him out?
No, that was before.
That was way before.
They call him country. Slaughter's hitless in 4 trips. Wyman Casey in his second inning of relief. This game is just as tight as a new pair of shoes on a rainy day. Casey goes into his windup. Slaughter hits a hard ground ball right at Reeves, who fires it over to Jack at first. Oh my! Robinson is down. Slaughter spiked him high up on the leg, and he is down.
Damn it, Slaughter! You know what you're doing? You spiked my guy!
Yeah, Jackie. Get him up, boys. Get him up. Just stay up. The T-Doc will be right out. Q, next guy up, you hit him right in the head, all right?
No. Give me up.
No. Like stay down.
No. Give me up. Just get him out. Just get him out. Understand? Game's too important. Just get him out. Play ball.
You're a tough man, Jake.
Let's get him out.
Dr. Cox.
Dr. Cox giving the read on the game there in the beginning.
That's a new pair of shoes on a rainy day.
Like that, Red Barber is very famous, and that's a really good impression.
Oh, did you actually listen to the audio of him?
Yeah, that's a good impression.
Oh, okay, cool. I'd like to listen to that. So yeah, I mean, Jackie Robinson basically, dude, I cannot imagine getting fucking spikes to basically your calf.
Yeah, just get his calf sliced open pretty much.
Yeah.
And still just saying, no, don't get back at him. Just play the game.
I love the response because the guy who said, talking to the pitcher, the next guy who comes up, you hit him right in the head. It's like, Jesus, dude, it's not acceptable. What the fuck?
No, not the next guy. He said next time that guy's up.
Oh, was it the next? Oh, I thought he said the next guy. Like,
fucking kill the whole team.
Yeah, like whatever. Next guy, I don't give a fuck who it is.
It's
like
war.
Like, but that guy's not a racist, isn't he? Hit him in the head with a baseball.
I'm telling you, man. If they had more pitchers than a head, I'd watch baseball.
That's why you got those big helmets coming.
Exactly. Put them to use.
You don't get a walk for getting hit. You get a strike.
Exactly.
Yeah. Do people get killed getting hit in the head with a bar at 95 miles an hour? It's really not acceptable. So now, one of the things right before the scene, we don't, and I apologize for the going back and forth, just because we don't have a proper breakdown of the synopsis. But right before that, earlier in the game, Jackie Robinson gets hit in the head. This fucking Steve Farfanugan fucking beelines him right in the side of the head,
and both dugouts fucking empty, and it was kind of vaguely amusing the way he just Jackie's sitting on the ground confused, what the fuck's going on, and everybody's fighting over him.
Yeah, he's the only guy not fighting.
He's the one guy just sitting there what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, which I thought was great. But I was so emotionally invested in this movie when he got hit with the baseball. I was like, no, unacceptable.
Even though you knew it was coming from the trailer,
yeah,
you still felt it when that happened.
Yeah,
you were like, oh, just
also you don't want to get hit in the head.
Yeah,
No.
and they didn't have helmets.
Nope. They had baseball caps. That isn't enough. Okay.
I don't know how he got the fuck up. I don't even understand how you get up from. Pitchers don't throw light. They are throwing rocks like bullets at your fucking head.
It's unnatural. Your brain is not supposed to get cracked like that. No fucking way.
I can't imagine being a catcher's wrist catching those fucking things, let alone a bear's skull.
Yeah.
That's just.
I got a baseball cap on and a fade. A sweet fade, dude. Jackie, that ain't enough, dude. That ain't enough. So after Jackie Robinson gets spiked in the leg, he's down in the locker room. Reporters are down there asking, "Did the guy spike him on purpose? Are you?" And then Jackie Robinson's basically, "Yeah, he fucking did." Okay, my foot is on the bag. There's no reason to do what he did.
He said he didn't do it on purpose. Is he a liar? And then they're just pestering the shit out of him.
Well, they're trying to see controversy. They want this black guy to say, "Oh, this white man is a liar," because you can imagine those fucking headlines the next day. They would be insane. So Branch Rickey comes down again, like a father, and shoos these reporters off. And Branch Rickey and Jackie have this really interesting conversation about why Jackie Robinson is there in the major leagues.
I was passing a sandlot. Little white boy was up at bat. You know what he was doing?
Sitting on a fastball?
He was pretending he was you.
Why'd you do this, Mr. Rickey?
We had a victory over fascism in Germany.
No. Why? Why'd you do it?
I love baseball. Given my whole life to it. 40-odd years ago, I was a player coach at Ohio Wesleyan University. We had a Negro catcher, best hitter on the team. So I'm laid low, broken, because of the color of his skin, and I didn't do enough to help. Told myself I did, but I didn't. There was something unfair at the heart of the game I loved, and I ignored it. But a time came when I could no longer do that.
I like that, because this is the first time you hear from Branch Rickey that it is not just about the Benjamins, as it were.
Yeah. It's not purely for. Don't get it twisted.
I'm trying to get paid.
Money is a primary reason.
Yeah.
But, it's not.
Negro money is green just like white people.
Right. But it's not just he's not some heartless guy that, is only looking to make a buck.
Yeah.
Off of
this isn't the first time he's asked him why he's doing it. This is just the first time he responded with the answer that was something other than money.
Right. And, like you said, he's not just a money-hungry guy, but he's also not some, bleeding heart.
Right.
I'm doing it to save black folks.
Because I wouldn't have believed that shit either.
No. I'd be like, Now, see, therein lies the difference. They could have just played that as he's a super wholesome guy who loves Negroes and can't wait to integrate Major League Baseball.
He was that machine gun preacher. He was that white guy who came in and helped this black guy up, and only for the goodness of his heart.
He was
they
helping
could have
himself.
did that, but they
he was helping himself in.
I hate you for bringing up that movie.
He was helping himself with money, and he was saving his own soul in what he was doing. He wasn't doing it for Jackie. He wasn't really doing it for other people. He was doing it for himself because he needed to redeem himself.
But isn't that where people need to go to improve? For like, you shouldn't do things for other people just because you think you should want to do it for you.
Yeah, when you do it solely for other people is where you lose yourself, and where, unfortunately, I mean, it would be nice if it were that easy, but that's how you end up getting destroyed in life. But you have to do things to better yourself before you can better the world around you.
Yeah,
100% agree. Also, get that paper, dog.
Jesus Christ.
As Jesus said in the Bible.
Fat stacks, yo.
Jesus said that, guys. I don't know if you
Jesus said fat stacks, yo.
Gold on everything.
I like to think that Branch Rickey gets pushed around in a golden shopping cart.
Popping mollies.
Popping mollies and sweating.
I'm sweating.
That one is for Terrence. So all in all, I think this is a pretty great movie. I
was wonderfully surprised by this movie.
I was as well. I thought it was a great movie. I thought it was a great black movie.
I thought it was a great movie, period.
Yeah, I really did. Do you think that this movie will do well?
Well, yeah, we should say that we've taped this episode before the movie is released. That's why the format is a little different.
Right.
What else is coming out this week?
That's a good question.
Place Beyond the Pines.
Honestly,
that's the only other big movie.
Honestly, what came out last week? G.I. Joe?
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Gosling sells movies, so.
Yeah, that movie is going to be big.
Yeah, that movie. Have you seen a TV spot for that movie?
It doesn't matter. Women like him.
Have you seen a TV spot for that movie?
No. Actually.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Right. I'll see it, but
if 42, I hope it's going to be number one, but I don't know if it'll stop G.I. Joe's momentum. I mean, that movie is not good.
No, it's not. And this would be its second or third week.
Is it? If it's its second week, it might. If it's its third week, then
no, it's
42
its
will
third.
win.
Yeah, it's its third week.
Then I hope 42 wins.
Yeah.
I really, really do.
I hope 42 stays number one for at least 2 weeks. I'd like to see it stay number one.
I'd like for it to get to number one. I want people to see this movie.
I do too. And you know what? Okay. One of the things about the movie I liked. Well, there's so much about the movie I liked. My biggest fear is that black people aren't going to see it. That's my biggest fear.
You know what I really wish? I wish that this had come out a few months ago before the Oscars.
I don't.
I think it would have got swept along.
And you know what? I don't think anybody in this movie or the movie is worthy of an Oscar.
I just want something to bring more. I want people to see this film because
it still wouldn't have, because the Oscars are 2012.
Oh my God! You know what else gets released this week?
What?
Scary Movie 5.
Oh, that's a good line.
I swear to God.
What he's about to say.
No, I know what he's going to say.
If Scary Movie 5 beats this movie, I'm going on a rampage.
Well, how about this? The Haunted House sequel starring fucking Marlon Wayans just got greenlit for a sequel. So, hey, black people, go see this movie for the love of God.
Don't
please.
see fucking Scary goddamn Movie 5. Please.
And by the time you're listening to this, it'll obviously be after.
Yeah.
But go see it the second week anyway.
Yeah. I'm actually gonna see 42 again.
Yeah, I'm gonna see it again.
I want to see it. I really want to see it again. This movie. I'm so happy with this movie because, like I said earlier, I can't think of another movie for a very long time that has tackled racism in a proper manner.
Right. I mean, Django tackles it,
but shot it in the face.
Yes.
Right.
And you know what?
Very much a fantasy.
Yeah, you know what? I enjoyed it. But
Django blew it the fuck up. And
Django Tarantino racism, right? So it went over the top, and it responded in the Tarantino fashion, and I have no problem with that. I think that has a place as well. But as a serious drama, as a real story,
as realistically,
this is the movie that black folks should be cheering to see. This is the movie. Now, one of the reasons why they're releasing it now is because it's the beginning of the baseball season.
Yeah.
Now I know people who are hardcore baseball fans who are not black who are all about seeing this movie.
I have a couple of friends online who are huge baseball fans, and they are ready for this movie.
Yeah, they're really excited.
Good.
So what I'm hoping is that Hollywood sees that this movie, one, is a good movie. Sees that it was marketed well. Because that was the thing with Red Tails. How do we market it? There was just black people in it. I mean, I don't even know how to market. These guys fucking figured it out. Hey, here's an American hero who was a fucking amazing athlete, and it's an amazing story. Just do the movie. Just do the movie. That's it. And perhaps use a Jay-Z song, because, I don't know.
Yeah.
It kind of worked.
Which wasn't in the movie, just so you know.
It was not in the movie.
It was only period music and the score.
Yeah.
In the movie.
Which, you know what? I'm fine with that.
I was actually really happy with that.
Yeah. But there's also a time and place for Brooklyn We Go Hard. So how about that? That song's amazing. But I think I cannot stress enough that this is a highly important movie. It's one of our heroes. If you don't, I saw somebody say, well, they see the pressure ratcheting up. Like, if black people don't go see this, they're not going to make any other black movies. But you know what? They don't make they don't make movies about our heroes. They don't. Go see this movie. Support this movie. So we can finally get that Tyrese as Martin Luther King movie off the ground.
Jesus Christ. Dude.
Why?
Yeah.
He wanted to play MLK. That's not a joke.
What?
Let me show you my cause.
The Coca-Cola kid wanted to be Martin Luther King?
Yeah, Martin Luther King
All right,
singing about Coca-Cola on a bus.
You're spouting nonsense now. We've been going
Just
for an
cast
hour
The
and
Rock.
40
The
minutes.
Rock's every black man in Hollywood, right?
The Rock cannot play Martin Luther King.
You know what? I would want to see The Rock as Martin Luther King more than Tyrese.
Well, you've heard it here first. The
Why? So he can run over and beat up the sniper
So he can fucking
and never die?
So he can fucking rock bottom anyone who questions him.
I agree with that. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with that. So The Rock as MLK and
I had a dream.
What's
all
it?
you motherfuckers?
What's the guy who does the Spinneroonie? What's that dude's name?
Booker T.
Yeah, and Booker T is Malcolm X.
Christ!
Oh shit!
Make it happen, Hollywood.
This show is
shit.
taking a new turn this
Yeah.
week.
Again, five-time WCW champion. Oh my god!
/ activist.
Oh my god!
I don't know. It could be amazing, guys. It could be amazing.
Plymouth Rock landed on us.
Fantastic. All right. On that note, we'll be back next week with our preview episode. I promise that our next movie you will absolutely love. I'm not so sure you'll even have to rewatch it if you're black.
Anybody that likes a good movie.
Anybody. Right. Anybody.
I'm just saying.
Everybody's seen this movie.
They fucking should have by now. They fucking should have.
We've already established my girlfriend is very, very white. She's seen this movie a million times. Everyone's seen this movie.
Okay, there you go. So look forward to our preview episode for next week. Of course, you can always send us emails at contact@blackonblackcinema.com. Yeah, go see 42. Let us know what you thought. I'm really interested in hearing what people think. Of course, we're on Facebook at facebook.com/blackonblackcinema. blackonblackcinema.com. We're on Stitcher Radio and on iTunes. Please leave us iTunes reviews and share out our episodes on social media, especially Twitter and Facebook, for the episodes. Share it out with your friends. I know there's some black folks out there listening, so you probably know other black people or people who like black movies or good movies. So definitely check that out, and we will see you guys in 2 weeks.
See you.
Adios.
Bye.
We out.